This is why you shouldn't oil your scalp. Of course, unless you are medically advised to do so. If so, this is not applicable to you. But our scalp has to flake on schedule, and this flaking on schedule is part of our growth process. Our growth process starts at the follicle, the base of the hair follicle. This follicle divides into two cells. It starts from being a single cell, then divides into two cells. That's called cell division. Once this happens and new cells are created, where do the old ones go? The old ones are then pushed upward to the scalp. So this is the result of that. Your hair is the result of that, and they are keratinized or hardened. And as a result, you get flaky, cells on your scalp. Your scalp is flaky as a result. Now listen, the scalp looks smooth on the surface, but under the microscope, it's actually flaky. Now, when you oil your scalp, you disrupt this natural process. You disrupt the growth process. I know it seemed like when you were young, because your mom greased your scalp or grandma greased her scalp and other people in your family greased your scalp, that was the best thing to do. But as Audrey Davis said in her book, The Science of Black Hair, which is where I learned this from, we as kids did low manipulation hairstyles. So it might have seemed like this was working because we had this nice shiny appearance. But just like if you put too much oil on your face, a pimple can come up. The same happens to the scalp. The scalp needs to breathe. The best way to take care of the scalp is to shampoo, condition, deep condition regularly. You could you could do it bi-weekly or every week. And let me tell you guys, I notice even with myself personally, every time I will oil my scalp would get so much more itchier. And when I went from wearing weave all the time, sew-ins back to back, to wearing my natural hair, I was able to wash my hair more, and I noticed my scalp did not itch as much. So listen and please understand, when you oil your scalp, you are blocking the hair follicle. So then that hair has to force itself through that hair follicle, which can result in inflammation, dry scalp, itchiness, all type of craziness. So just remember that the next time you oil your scalp. Hey guys, there are 3 layers to the scalp. There is the subcutaneous. Sorry, y'all. It's the subcutaneous layer, which is where the hair follicle is. That's at the very, 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 very bottom. And then there is the dermis, which is the middle, and then there's the epidermis, which is composed of 5 layers. Now listen, a dry scalp can come from low sebum production, or it can come from if you are dehydrated. So please make sure that you are drinking enough water, because if not, your hair will depend on the environment. That will make it dry. Imagine this, guys. You got the scalp that produces sebum naturally. So this happens, it produces about 1 ounce of sebum every 100 days. Now check this out. When the sebum first comes on the scalp and through the hair, sebum can become hard and it has to have a wax type of feel to it. So imagine you already got that happening naturally. Then you got grease, pomades, oils, gels, plus the natural flaking of the scalp that happens once that hair is pushed through and becomes visible. And that's the growth process right there. That has to happen. When you put oil, you disrupt all that. But just imagine all that. That is why it's not good to oil the scalp. Thing I want to say, I really encourage you guys to learn. See, I've been reading this book. Look how crazy it looks. The Science of Black Hair. I really encourage you guys to learn about your hair. Like, I cannot stress this enough. One thing that Audrey talked about in the book was how at first she just wanted to know the miracle product. She just wanted to know the magic ingredient. And as she started to really become more intentional on her hair growth journey, she started to really be intrigued with the science. What is the scalp? How does it work? What is the hair? How does it work? And even me now reading this, I had this book for like 4 years, and I'm just now reading it, taking it serious, because when you are not properly informed, you can be easily persuaded or easily swayed or finessed into the wrong things. That's why you got people who have 2.1 million views on their YouTube videos saying use this and watch your hair grow overnight, because we're just so easily we fall into gimmicks, and we don't want to go in this for the long haul. Going in this for the long haul means educating ourselves properly. Going into this for the long haul means changing our mindset from this short quick fix to a long haul mindset, knowing that we have to do the work. For example, me right now, I got this style, my mini twist. I don't necessarily like this style the best, but I know this is what I have to do. Taking the time to moisturize your hair, taking the time to wash wash your hair, taking a break from weaves, bonding with your hair. All these things take time. Learning what your hair needs, how your hair switches. It has different needs and wants. So learning how to become accustomed to that, it's a lot of work, but I'm telling y'all, it is so worth it. So I encourage you to really learn the science of black hair.